Thank you very much. Understanding that oil pipelines have become controversial recently because of their ties to an association with ongoing spills, with climate change, and also understanding that towns and cities across the country have become proactive participants around decisions around pipelines, including the city of Vancouver, where the mayor has firmly opposed the Kinder Morgan pipeline and has even sought to appeal the National Energy Board ruling on that pipeline, or the city of Toronto recently, which conducted its own environmental assessment in the Line 9 pipeline before passing their own motion asking for a more thorough federal environmental assessment to be conducted, or even the mayor of Montreal, who just a few weeks ago asked the National Energy Board to withhold approval of Line 9 over their concern over oil spills. Would you support the City of Ottawa at a minimum intervening in the National Energy Board on the proposed Energy East pipeline to ensure the concerns over the health and safety of Ottawa residents are properly conveyed? Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't get the last part of the question. Are you saying that should we oppose?
The City of Ottawa intervening at the National Energy Board to convey the health and safety concerns of residents of the City of Ottawa.
To oppose the pipeline, that's what you say.
What you ask?
For people at home, would you support the city at least intervening at the National Energy Board on the proposed Energy East pipeline to ensure the concerns over the health and safety of Ottawa residents are properly conveyed? That was the final part of the question.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you bring a pipeline to the east from the tar sands, you increase the risk of a failure of a pipeline and spillage of oil. We have seen a number of places it has happened. And as far as oil policy is concerned, I think it is the federal government that decide what has to be exported. But personally, I feel that we have oil. It is for us and the future generations. We should take out only that much of oil and export it, which we need for our survival here. We have to keep a lot of oil and from these resources for the future generation. If we export everything out, a time will come when all this tar sand oil will be depleted. And this is my concern about speeding up the oil exports to all over the world. We don't have to do that. We should slow it down. I believe that carrying oil to the trains and the tankers is still a good idea. There are a number of countries which are producing oil. We don't have to be in that race to just give oil to sell to the other country. We have to retain oil for our future generations. That's my position. Thank you very much.
Mr. Watson, please.
Yeah, I've communicated to both the Premier and the Minister of Energy, as a local MPP, Bob Chiarelli, the city's support and my personal support of having Ontario have intervener status, and I would support the City of Ottawa getting special observer status at the National Energy Board. But we at the city do not have the technical and professional expertise. I think observer status gives us standing at the process, but I think we should be there to support the Ontario position because the pipeline goes through many different communities in the province of Ontario. They have a Ministry of Energy, they have the expertise that we can certainly learn from and feed into. Obviously, when this process starts up, if there's the least shadow of a doubt that there is going to be a risk to the Rideau River, then of course the City of Ottawa and I as Mayor would not support. But I think the process that we're doing, that we follow now through Ontario government so that we don't have a second set of consultants and lawyers and engineers working in tandem, let's work with the province of Ontario who are already at the stage of seeking intervening status. Thank you.
And Mr. McGuire.
I support intervener status. I support anything that continues to increase the protection of the residents of Ottawa from any risks associated with the pipeline. I want to be clear on a couple of things. First of all, I live about 2 kilometers downriver of the proposed pipeline. This is my backyard. This is an existing pipeline. It's got natural gas in it right now. The proposal is to is to reverse the direction, if I'm not mistaken. Is to not use natural gas, it's to put diluted bitumen in, which comes from the west to the east, and this is to replace imported oil we're getting from Venezuela.
No, the footage, take reports on this focus action.
Oh, well then, there you go. Sorry. So, okay, so we've got a pipeline in place. I actually went to one of the presentations and I was surprised I didn't remember that, I'm sorry. Whatever it takes to ensure that risks are mitigated and that we're satisfied publicly and transparently that those risks have been mitigated. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the City of Ottawa, neither the province nor the city has any legal authority to prevent this from occurring. I believe it's something strictly federal in nature. But we do have a large body here, we have a large population. At the bare minimum, we should be able to have some input because it is us. Thank you.
Okay, no further comments? I'd like to ask a representative from Enviro Center. It's time to come up, and we'll begin with Mr. Watson.